What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel. Before we get into this next video, I'd like to make a special announcement. In April 2025, I will be launching a new Patreon. That's right. We can do things over there that we can't do on them folks' platform. So if you've been a supporter here, you've been a subscriber here, you rocked out with me here, I expect to see you over yonder at the Storefront Church. We opening up in April. We're gonna have a whole lot going on there that we can't do here. For example, we'll be able to chat directly over there in our private chat rooms on Patreon. We can talk about things that we couldn't talk about here on them folks' platform. We can have private conversations. We can have public conversations. I want to be more available to the people who really rock out with me. To that end, not only will I put exclusive videos over there that won't be available on YouTube, but we'll also have exclusive live streams, y'all. That's right. I'm gonna go live more often in the Patreon. So if you've rocked out with me here, if you felt what I've been doing here, if you're picking up what I'm putting down over here on them folks' platform, well, it's gonna be greater over there. So I hope you rock with me. As the old folks say, we can go another further over there. So don't meet me there, beat me there. I'll leave a link in the description. Y'all go sign up. Ain't no charge for nothing right now. I'm just collecting information and emails and getting everything set up for April 2025. Y'all meet me on Patreon. And now let's get to the video.
And I love when AOC lectures Elon Musk about not being intelligent. I'm like, oh, she's such a genius. You know, I'm inspired by her every word.
You were in the bar. You were in a bar.
Yeah.
You were in a bar, AOC.
Well, that's the only thing she and I have in common.
To serve one.
Exactly. All right. Alina Halba, thank you. When we come back.
Quote, what intellectual thought? When she was asked about me, quote, what intellectual thought? You were in a bar. You were in a bar, AOC, and not to have a drink, but to serve one. And I want you all to understand, I don't care what this woman says about me, but again.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, those of you who have followed me for some time, those of you who have dog avatars, pictures of your pet animal in your avatar on this platform, on them folks' platform, I think you can understand where I'm coming from when I say that the Democrat Party has some wild dogs in their party. They're on the lower level, on the lower echelon of the party, but seems like in their desperation to fight against Donald Trump, to fight against Elon Musk, to fight against everything that is MAGA in this moment, they have unleashed the dogs, the wild dogs at the lower levels of their party. The lowbrow dogs have been unleashed, and the problem with that, and I know y'all can get this when I say it, is that when you have untrained dogs that you want to unleash on someone like a Donald Trump, on an Elon Musk, on everything that has to do with this Trump administration, when you unleash those untrained dogs, sometimes when you tell them to attack your enemy, sometimes they turn around and attack you. Why? Because they're wild by nature. They are untrained. They are undisciplined. They are uncouth. And that's what we're experiencing now with this Democrat Party. They're going to the lower echelon of their party and they're saying, we need to unleash the wild dogs. And we know they're funded by people like George Soros and others of that ilk. But they're finding out that by unleashing those wild dogs and saying, go burn Teslas, go demonstrate in the streets, go destroy private property, they're finding out that those same dogs that they have unleashed are now showing up at Democrat town halls and saying, hey, we're going to bite you too, because you're not fighting hard enough, in our opinion. You are not doing what we want you to do. And the Democrats are saying, hey, we didn't direct you to do that. And yet these people on this lower level of the Democratic ladder are saying, we don't care what you said. We untrained, remember? We wild, remember? We street dogs, remember? We out here trying to implement what we want. Don't matter what you say, don't matter how you direct us. You told us to go attack Republicans, yeah, that's cool. But it's also cool to attack you. Because we don't believe in what you stand for either. That's what makes us wild.
We are mobilizing in New York. We have people going to the Republican districts and going after these Republicans who are voting for this and forcing them to either change their vote or face the consequences. This is a long, relentless fight that we fight every day. And I am confident that we will bring Trump's popularity, numbers, and strength down if we keep at it and keep at it and keep at it.
As you can see, y'all, this is the kind of result you get when you get people like George Soros to come out and start throwing money everywhere. Like he was in a strip club, just throwing dollar bills around and saying, hey, you protest, and you protest, and you protest. I got dollars for everybody. Can we get some protesters in here to disrupt some things, to tear up some things? Well, when you ain't got no training, no home training, like some of y'all dogs in your avatar, when you invite these wild dogs to your party, you find out that some of these folks show up and show out just for a dollar bill. Some of these folks got mental issues, but you don't care. You just want disruption. You just want anarchy. Okay, Soros, they're going to take your money and they're going to show out, but they're not just showing out on the Trump administration. No, you got Alyssa Slotkin who showed up to a town hall. She's someone who tries to be a moderate, and the party even tried to put her out there in response to Donald Trump's recent speech before a joint House of Congress. They tried to have her give a response that was moderate in nature because they thought her presentation would sell with the American people. No, they rejected it. She got rolled over by MAGA. She got rolled over by Trump's speech and sentiments. And she showed up to a town hall, trying to put forth her moderate stance and moderate presentation, and she messed around and found out that these wild dogs will turn on you.
On the same week that a poll showed Democrats with a dismal favorability rating of only 29%, many are facing voters face-to-face at what are becoming very fiery town halls. We're talking shouting matches, lots of booing, constituents voicing their concerns about White House policies and how Democrats are reacting or not reacting enough to them. In Michigan, Senator Alyssa Slotkin took a question on where the party is heading when it comes to leadership.
All of those things require me to be more than just an AOC. I can't do what she does because we live in a purple state and I'm a pragmatist. Everyone you mentioned has a lot of words, but what have they actually done to change the situation with Donald Trump?
Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. It is an issue of fairness. So it's deeply unfair. I revere sports. And so the issue of fairness is completely legit.
Senator, do you agree with Governor Newsom?
Well, look, I think, you'll have to talk to Mr. Newsom and his podcast, and we're all talking about it now because it's, good controversy. For me, I grew up playing 3 seasons of sports. In Michigan, sports is like our religion, right? I wouldn't be here, I think, without the leadership training that I got in women's sports. But for me, it's like, let the local community figure this out, right? In Michigan, we have a process in place where if someone who's born a boy wants to play in women's sports, you have to get a waiver. We've had it happen 2 times in our entire state. So let the local communities, just like everything with schools, handle that issue. For me, though, I think, this issue is being sort of brought up in order to make sparks and see sparks fly.
That is the president contravening the House's role and responsibility for the impeachment process. So I will be voting yes on obstruction.
You did not elect a moderate. And anybody thinking about this person as any sort of a moderate needs to reassess ASAP.
I'm a CIA officer recruited after 9/11. I did 3 tours armed in Iraq alongside the military. and have worked for 4 different secretaries of defense, both Democrat and Republican, proudly. I'm also a Democrat representing a state that Trump won. Right? We both won on the same ballot. Do you agree that there are some orders that can be given by the commander-in-chief that would violate the U.S. Constitution?
Senator, thank you for your service. But I reject the premise that President Trump is going to be giving illegal orders.
No, I'm not saying he will. But do you believe there is such a thing as an illegal order that Joe Biden or any other president, Donald Trump, could give? Is there anything that a commander-in-chief could ask you to do with the uniformed military that would be in violation of the U.S. Constitution?
Senator, anybody of any party could give an order that is against the Constitution or against the law.
So are you saying that you would stand in the breach and push back if you were given an illegal order?
I start by saying I reject the premise that President Trump will be giving
you've done your
any
genuflecting
illegal
to him,
orders
but
at all.
This isn't a hypothetical, okay? Your predecessor in a Trump administration, Secretary Esper, was asked and did use uniformed military to clear unarmed protesters. He was given the order to potentially shoot at them. He later apologized publicly for those actions. Was he right or wrong to apologize?
Senator, I was there on the ground. I saw that.
I understand, and I respect that. Was he right or wrong to apologize?
I'm not going to put words in the mouth of Secretary Esper or anybody else.
He said them himself. You don't have to. What are you scared of? Did he do the right thing by apologizing?
I'm not scared of anything, Senator.
Then say yes or no. You can say no. Have you been personally involved in discussions of using the U.S. military active duty inside the United States?
Senator, I'm fine. I'm glad we finally got to the topic of border security equaling national security because it's been abdicated and ignored for the last 4 years.
That wasn't my question. And you're going to be in charge of 3 million people. The active duty that I know you care about, I believe you care about. So have you been in conversations about using the active duty in any way, whether it's setting up in detention camps, policing dangerous cities? Have you been involved in any of those conversations?
Certainly, I have been involved in conversations relating to doing things this administration has not, which is secure the southern border and not allow floods of illegals into our country through an invasion that threatens the American people.
It's just so irritating. It makes my blood boil. I get that. Okay, you've done your genuflecting. You've done your genuflecting. What are you scared of? Then say yes or no. I believe you care about them. I believe you. I think we both care about them. We both care about the military. Sir, I get it. You're filibustering. Everything's so pejorative, so condescending. You're genuflecting. You're filibustering. What are you scared of, you P word? But I totally have the same respect for the military as you do. I'm basically the same as you have, as you are. I went as a CIA analyst to Iraq to help with intelligence. And that's basically the same as strapping a gun on my back and going and actually having to shoot bad guys. So I'm one of you. I get it. I, Elise Slotkin, will acknowledge that you might actually care about the military. I have decided you might be sincere in that. F you, Senator. She's truly she's, I guess, a wolf in sheep's clothing. A partisan in nonpartisan's clothing. I'm not sure exactly how I want to say it other than don't trust her. Don't buy her little moderation act, and understand what you've elected. Because I think Michiganders genuinely believe that this would be somebody who possibly could work with Trump, who wouldn't have TDS, who could go to Washington and represent the people who don't hate him, who actually voted for him for president, but aren't necessarily Republicans or diehard MAGA, right? You made a mistake there, my friends. You had a great Republican candidate. You rejected him. That's fine. You could rectify it the next time around. And I really, really, really hope you do. You have the possibility of doing that now. And I really, really, really hope you make a better choice, because this woman is nasty. She's a nasty person. The way she spoke to him about his military service, I will deign to tell you that your love for the military is real. I believe you. Who gives a shit whether you believe Pete Hegseth cares about the troops? Who gives a shit? How dare you say that to a man who's been deployed 3 times to Gitmo, to Iraq, to Afghanistan, and has laid his life on the line for his country? How dare you speak that way? And then get out there and talk to the rest of us like we're these know-nothing little teenagers. And that's the only reason why we voted for Trump, because our brains aren't fully developed. Long story short, Elise Slotkin, thumbs down.
And there you have it, y'all. The Democrats continue to be lost in this moment, only 60 days into the new presidential term. They don't know which way is up. They don't know which way to go. They don't know who to put out front. Is it AOC? Is it Elissa Slotkin? Well, all of those seem to be losing propositions. And here you got the governor of California in it to some Gavin Newsom, out here trying to make a name for himself, trying to make a way for himself to run for president in 2028. Y'all seem to be lost. You seem to be down bad. And I don't know that unleashing the wild dogs of the party and getting them to rally in the streets and destroy private property, I don't know that that's the way. Whether it's Soros or anyone like him who might be funding these activities. Seem like these wild folks are going to take you off into a place where you didn't want to go, but you allowed this to fester over 4 years under Joe Biden's presidency, where you allowed this radical left wing of your party to rise up, gain power, gain a voice. We know that's still the minority of the party, but you allowed them to be so loud, so boisterous, that at this point, you can't shut them back down. It's like letting that wild dog off a leash, and you can't get him back on it. He might bite you too at the end of the day. Y'all let me know what you think about this and this left wing of the Democrat Party who seems to have Trump derangement syndrome, Elon derangement syndrome, some kind of mental disorder, but they're going wild because they've been let off leash. And they are biting Democrats as well as Republicans. And I bet the Democrats have a sense of regret for ever unleashing the dogs on America. Who let the dogs out? AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Elissa Slotkin, Chuck Schumer. We can go on and on and on. All of y'all are complicit in this foolishness that is taking place in America right now. Y'all, let me know what you think about this. I'd love to know your thoughts. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.